Good evening, happy New Year's Eve, and thanks for joining us for the final TBT newscast of 2022. I'm Mitchell Ringos. Well, everyone celebrates New Year's Eve in their own special way. And to start the day of celebrations, families flock to Fort William Historical Park to ring in the new year with activities, games, and live music. Saturday evening saw families rush to the historical park to take part in over a dozen family-friendly activities to help welcome the new year. The site was packed with indoor and outdoor activities, including sledding, candle making, and festive crafts. The event also had a glow room, which gave parents and children the chance to experiment with black lights. This is the first time since the pandemic the historical park has been able to hold a New Year's Eve event, and General Manager Patrick Morash says they're excited to celebrate the new year together once again.
It's great, and more than celebrating the end of the year, we're actually celebrating the bringing in of next year, which is the 50th anniversary for Fort William Historical Park. So this is a real opportunity for us to kick off what will be a whole year of celebratory activities for next year.
The festivities will continue later tonight all the way until 8 p.m. with a cannon salute to the new year and a fireworks show. New Year's Eve is usually a time for reflection and attempts to improve ourselves and the world around us, and the difficult times of 2022 are being reflected on in many people's New Year's resolutions, including those from our elected officials. We asked the mayor as well as Thunder Bay's federal and provincial politicians about their resolutions for 2023.
Well, I've got to get back to the gym as people keep telling me I must, and that will help me stay energized and stay healthy and get to see people again too.
Well, I do have to do more physical activity, and so I'm finding it a little hard to jam that into my day, but my New Year's resolution is to carve out at least an hour a day so that I can get grounded and resume some physical activity. I've always been somewhat active, but I have found that in this job I sit a lot, I fly a lot, and there's always food around, so I'm going to try to stay as healthy and balanced as possible.
To work as hard as I can to build bridges with people on all sides of the political spectrum in the House and see if we can't make things better for people across the province.
I never make New Year's resolutions. You know, I think trying to get it right is a 365-day job. And nothing's going to change magically overnight on New Year's Eve. So I don't bother even trying.
So I don't do typical resolutions. My resolutions are a little bit contrary to what resolutions are. I just want to see us, I'm going to move forward and continue to do the work that needs to be done at Thunder Bay Atikokan and carry forward on that.
Abu Henna Mustafa Kamal, a migrant to Thunder Bay who is beloved in the community, has won a temporary legal victory in his quest to gain permanent resident status and remain in the city. The CBSA was seeking to deport Kamal after his study permit expired in 2021, ordering him to Toronto Pearson International Airport on Sunday. The hearing on Friday, held virtually by the Toronto-based court, was attended by over a dozen observers. Kamal argued that they should wait until an application he filed for permanent residency is considered, which still hasn't been processed by Canada's Department of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, despite being filed a year and a half ago. In a decision that took into consideration those chronic delays, Federal Court Justice Sebastian Grammond granted a stay on a removal order filed by the CBSA. Jennifer Dagsvik, who is representing Kamal, said he will continue to pursue litigation in federal court over the CBSA's refusal to defer its deportation order. It's unclear how long that process could take, and she says if his PR application is approved in the meantime, that litigation will not be necessary. With children off from school for the holiday break, Science North recently offered an afternoon of science-themed hands-on activities at the Thunder Bay Museum. As Kurt Black reports, it was all about making scientific learning fun for young kids.
Science is everywhere and in everything, which means there are endless opportunities for children to learn about it. And that's what Science North provided this week at the Thunder Bay Museum, with different stations to teach kids the science of everyday life through play. Engagement liaison Kaya Saarinen says it's important for the kids to have fun while learning.
We're asking them, why do you think this happens? And we get to explain it, but we always just make it fun. And we laugh, like, not that we're tricking people into learning about science, but when you ask, like, why do you think that happened? Why do you think that doesn't work? It gets the wheels turning. And then when they learn about it, they're like, okay, I'm going to use this science knowledge to my advantage. Now we're going to build our tower a different way, and it's going to be successful and awesome. When they figure out they're having a good time and kind of the mysteries are being unraveled around them, it makes a really big difference, and it can lead them into their passions in life.
This is the funnest museum ever.
Do you think it's a dog or do you think it's a bear?
Dinosaur.
That's a dinosaur.
Museum archivist Michael DeYoung says it was a no-brainer to welcome in Science North for the afternoon and provide a learning opportunity for the kids.
Interactivity and activity-based learning is something that's often on our minds as a museum, as we, to complement our exhibits. So this is a great opportunity to really to get some excellent hands-on learning for science right in the building.
And Science North will also offer plenty of hands-on learning in the new year through events like a science festival and a Youth Action Climate Summit in February. Kurt Black, TBT News.
Grassy Narrows First Nation is getting some support from an unlikely corner. Ben & Jerry's, the ice cream company, has been supporting the Free Grassy campaign throughout the year, hoping to bring broader awareness to the community's fight for mercury justice and against logging and mining on their territory.
Folks in marketing who have a real skill set and saying, okay, we know what it takes to get folks to look at our ice cream. Why don't we use those skills to say, okay, let's help people, garner them to transition from just ice cream lovers to activists on the ground.
While the font may be familiar to ice cream lovers, the message is likely not, says a Drangi who estimates that more than 1,500 people have signed petitions in support of Grassy Narrows through Ben & Jerry's social media or in-person events this summer where they gave away ice cream along with campaign info.
Social media is one piece of it, reaching out to fans or ice cream fans over email, getting them to sign the petitions. But then there's also on the ground work that we do. So if Grassy is having a virtual event, we might help with the tech behind the scene.
The company plans to continue supporting the Free Grassy campaign, and with a history of activist ice cream flavors over the years, a Drangi doesn't rule the possibility that a Grassy Narrows pint of Ben & Jerry's could find itself in the freezer aisle someday. A First Nation supply and craft store in Sault Ste. Marie is working to build and cultivate a crafting community. Trailblazing Beads is the name of the firm and says its vision is to provide accessible crafting tools to continue participating in First Nation and Métis heritage as a therapeutic art form. CTV's Mike McDonald has more.
Trailblazing Beads has been in business for 6 years. Its owner, Eva Daybuch, opened a small shop in 2016 with help from a $1,000 summer student grant. In 2020, the store moved to its current location, which is better able to accommodate beading classes, which the owner says is a healing practice.
People who are kind of overcoming addiction and they need something to keep themselves busy. It activates the right side of the brain that's responsible for creativity and emotions, so it helps them regulate their emotions.
Daybuch is also a social worker with an extensive background working with people experiencing trauma.
I have a master's degree from the University of Toronto that specializes in Indigenous resiliency and trauma, and then I have my undergrad from Algoma University in social work and a BA in Anishinaabe-Mowen.
Daybuch admits that beading can be difficult at the start. She encourages her employees to get acquainted with the art form.
It looks so easy. I sew, so whatever, in and out, right? But it takes a lot of patience, a lot of focus. It's really nice, like a sense of accomplishment and getting in touch with my culture that maybe I wasn't really exposed to.
Daybuch says everyone is welcome to attend her classes.
There's all sorts of cultures who do beading, and I encourage beading for everybody.
Daybuch says class sizes are limited, but they are held every month. Schedules are posted on the Trailblazing Beads Facebook page, along with contact information and what designs each class will be working on. Mike McDonald, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Former Thunder Bay resident Ray Lalonde continued his Jeopardy winning streak into the new year on Friday. Lalonde, who was born here and still has family in the city, was back at it again last night trying to secure his 12th victory. But this time it was a little too close for comfort.
Isaac Rabani led for much of the second round, $20,100. He did know it was Lake Mead. Did he wager big or small? Oh, $19,900. He has $40,000. So it all depends on Ray Lalonde's response. Did our Canadian contestant know American bodies of water? He did. Big wager? Hello, $20,000. $42,800 on the day. And Ray, you have had quite a 12 days of Christmas with us. No Lords of Leaping, no golden rings, but $354,300.
And like we said, this one came down to the wire, as Lalonde just barely stayed in the lead going into the final Jeopardy question, having to wager it all in order to win. But just like many times before, Lalonde answered the final Jeopardy question correctly, making him the winner. He's now sitting at a 12-day total of $354,300 American dollars, and Lalonde will be back again in the new year, hoping to get his first win of 2023. We're now